Hi there, and welcome to this Great Northern Darwin Cup Day edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be previewing the biggest carnival day ever seen in the Top End, the first Monday in August, August the 3rd. Cup Day this year will feature no less than a dozen races, with the Bet365 Palmerston Sprint being run on Cup Day for the very first time. With a first race start time of 10:30am and the Cup the last of the 12 at 5:30, it promises to be a massive day of action beamed to many countries around the globe. Due to having 12 races, I'll give out my top 3 in each race, but only concentrate on the top tip. However, in the Cup and Sprint, we'll give the top 4 rundown as usual. Today's opener is the Silks Darwin Maiden Plate, and my numbers are 8, 2 and 9. Going here with number 8, Lit, trained by Alice Springs mentor Kevin Lamprick, and Peter Hall takes them out today. This filly won a really good race at last meeting here behind Liberty's Torch. That was 1,300, and I think the drop back to the 1,100 metres on Monday will really suit Lit. Peter Hall goes aboard this week. Terry Trosher rode the other day. Drawn the one gate. She's been a bit of a trick, this little filly, but a really good run the other day, and Kevin and his team have done a superb job to get her back to the races. I've got her on top. Number 8, Lit to win it from 2 and 9. In the second, the Airtex Group Handicap, it's the 0 to 66. It's also over 1,100 metres. My numbers here, 3, 8 and 1. Going here with number 3, Tornado of Souls, to give Peter Stennett another Cup Day win. I think he won on this day last year. Paul Shires takes them out on Tornado of Souls. Raymond Weig has been aboard for the horse's last 2 efforts, which have been winning ones here on the 23rd of May and the 4th of July. Really good effort the other day to hold out Frilly Design, and just won in a close finish. That was the 4th of July, and I think Tornado of Souls can make it 3 in a row here on Monday. 3 on top, ahead of 8 Silver Melody and 1 Kronos. The third's the Ascend Sales Trophies Handicap. It's the 0 to 62. This one over the 1,000 metres. They'll go pretty quick in this. My numbers here are 2, 4 and 6. Going here with my best bet of the day, number 2, Belmont Day, trained by Gary Clark. Gary could be in for a massive day. Got something like 29 runners on the day, and some very good chances in some of the bigger races later in the day. Belmont Day to be ridden by Kim Gladwin. This horse has had the 2 starts in Darwin, 2 very good wins. He's just turned 4, this son of I Am Invincible. Very smart galloper, and I think he'll be winning again. 2 on top, Belmont Day to beat 4, Hustle and Humph, and number 6, Frilly Design. The fourth's the Great Northern Original Handicap. Over 1,600 metres, this one for the 0 to 58 gallopers, and the numbers here are 2, 1 and 10. Going here with number 2, Bon Air, from the stable of Phil Cole, and young Alice Lindsay looking for her first win in the top end. She's only had 1 day's riding here and 1 day's riding in Alice Springs, so good luck to Alice. Bon Air, a consistent galloper. His last 4 efforts have been a win, 2/3 and a 4th. His last start 3rd was behind Rocheville, and of course Rocheville goes round on the Cup a little later in the day, and I think Bon Air can put his foot right on the till here. 2 on top to beat number 1, Call Me Legend, and over the page, number 10, Fort Knox. In the 5th, the Sip Out Wines Montgomery Handicap. It's the benchmark event, a benchmark 69 over 1,600 metres. Numbers here 1, 2 and 6. Going here at the top of the page with Java, number 1, trained by Gary Clark, Jared Todd in the saddle. With a steadier of 63 kilograms to carry, I still think he'd be very, very hard to beat. He won this race last year, Java, and the previous year finished 2nd in the 1,300 metre benchmark on the same day. So he goes well on this track, on this day. His run the other day behind Sava 2XL, best to forget that one. He never really got any favours in the run, but his earlier form was first class both here and in Alice Springs. So I've got him on top here, number 1, Java, to beat 2, Prince Planet, and number 6, Bull Market. Halfway through the day almost, race 6, the Lad Breaks Handicap, 1,300 metres for the 0 to 62 gallopers. My numbers here are 6, 2 and 10. Going here with number 6, the Phil Cole trained Recording to Win, and Wayne Davis aboard in for a busy day, Wayno. She finished 4th last time out over 1,600 metres behind Yulong Awesome. I think the 1,300 metres suits this mare better. She won at that trip the previous start. In fact, she's won 2 of her last 4, both over 1,300 metres, and I think she can be winning again. 6 on top to beat number 2, Rhythmical, and number 10, Mint on Mosley. We move now to race 7 into the second half of the program. It's the Magic Millions Handicap. The benchmark 71 over 1,300 metres. Numbers here are 4, 3 and 8. Going here with the last start impressive winner Spielberg, trained by Angela Forster and Paul Gatt in the saddle. That combination, of course, will be represented in the Cup by Lotion. And Spielberg came from Tailed off last time, first up on the track to win really impressively. That was the 4th of July. Beat Prince Planet on that occasion. Jared Todd rode Spielberg on that day, but Paul Gatt goes aboard. Spielberg on top for me, number 4, to beat number 3, Pasito, and number 8, Mr. Boom Jangles. In the 8th, the Betfair Handicap, it's over 1,200 metres for the 0 to 58 gallopers. There's a Trobus bonus attached to this race, and my numbers here are 2, 4, 6. Number 2 for me, El Sicario from the Pat Johnson stable, and Wayne Davis aboard. Former very good 2-year-old in New Zealand, in fact, was placed in a Group 1 race over there, the Size Produce Stakes. It's had a couple of homes, but now finds itself in the top end. Had its first start here the other day, missed the jump, and I thought did really well to run 4th behind Toorak Road, who's a rival again. I think with even luck, drawn out a little bit, El Sicario mightn't be the worst place to be, and I've got it on top to turn the tables on Toorak Road. 2 to win, ahead of number 4, Toorak Road, and number 6, Ulara Drive. We go to the 9th, yes, we're getting through them, the Shreks Handicap. It's over 1,200 metres for the 0 to 70 gallopers. 1, 7 and 2 for me. Going here with number 1, Another Bit. Kimmy Gladwin for Gary Clark. Down in grade from my last start, 4th placing in 0 to 76 company. This is a 0 to 70. He was a winner in this grade the start before. Last time out, 4th to Pasito. He was a lower grade star at the Carnival last year, was Another Bit, and I think he is very hard to beat here in race 9. Got him on top to beat number 7, Vunavalu, and number 2, Divine Red. Now we get to the first of our 2 big features on the day. This is the Bet365 Palmerston Sprint, 70,000 up for grabs. And my numbers here, 1, 4, 2 and 3. I'm going with the top weight Captain Punch to take out his 3rd Palmerston in successive years, to become the first horse ever to do that. He's trained by Gary Clark. He's to be ridden by Jared Todd. He's an absolute freak on this track up here, and as I mentioned, he's won the last 2 Palmerston Sprints, and I think he'll be winning again. His last start effort was a winning one on the 17th of June. He's a flying machine. The barrier draws, of course, for the Sprint and the Cup will be done on Friday, so in advance of Monday's races, obviously, but no barriers at this stage. 1 on top for me, Captain Punch. To beat number 4, High Cost, trained by Calvin Hickmott, Terry Treichel in the saddle. Really, really consistent galloper is High Cost. His 3rd last time out behind the Captain on 22nd of July was a really good performance, and he adds a lot to this contest. And for 3rd, the Captain, you can't leave him out. Number 2, Gary Clark, again, Kim Gladwin in the saddle. He's the reigning horse of the year here, and a marvel on this track. And in for 4th, number 3, Smuggling, Phil Cole and Wayne Davis. 1, 4, 2 and 3 in the Palmerston. We go now to the 11th, the Garrods Horse and Hound Handicap. This is the first race to be run over the 2,050 metres. Of course, change in distance from the 2,000 to the 2,050. And my numbers here, 1, 2 and 4. Yulong Awesome on top for me. He was really good winning at the last meeting here over 1,600 metres. First start at the trip, which is always a query, but I think Gary LaFoe and Paul Shires know their horse well enough that they wouldn't line him up if they didn't think he could handle the step up and trip. 1 on top for me, ahead of 2, Escondido, and number 4, Count of Essex. And the last on the bumper day, the Great Northern Darwin Cup, 100,000 up for grabs, 2,050 metres. There'll be a new track record set in race 11. It could well go in this one. And my numbers in the Cup, 1, 2, 10 and 6. I'm going here with the last start, or last year's winner rather, number 1, It's a Hymn. Peter Hall for Rob Galberti. His run here the other day in the metric mile behind Sava 2XL was absolutely first class. That was his first run since the 5th of October. He must be improved for that effort. I'm sure Rob was tickled pink with that performance. He couldn't wipe the smile off his face. And I'm going for the 10-year-old. He'll be on Monday to take out his 2nd Darwin Cup in succession. In for 2nd, number 2, Sava 2XL. 2,050 metres, probably the only question mark. He's the most informed horse in the territory. He's won the Rowant, the Chief Ministers and the Metric Mile in successive runs. Gary Clark and Kim Gladwin, the combination. In for 3rd, over the page we go to the 3-year-old Budget King. He won the Derby over the 1,600 metres in great style. Paul Shires looking for that elusive Darwin Cup victory to cement his name in the top-end history books. Gary LaFoe trains, and my 4th selection, number 6, Lotion, the Alice Springs Cup winner, and 2nd in the Cup last year behind It's a Hymn, Paul Gatt for Angela Forster. 1, 2, 10 and 6 in the Great Northern Darwin Cup. Best bet of the day comes up in race 3, and it's number 2, Belmont Day. Race 3, number 2, Belmont Day, while the best roughies in the last. The Cup, race 12, Number 3, Live and Free. Don't leave him out of your multiples. Race 12, number 3, Live and Free. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, and we take a little break now until our next meeting back here at Fanny Bay, which is August the 29th, Saturday, August the 29th. But have a great Northern Darwin Cup meeting, and until we touch base again, good luck and good punting.